In the gentle roll of the western Pennsylvania hills, under a sky so wide it teaches you humility, lies the town of Slippy Creek, where the men are hard-working, the women are bright, and all the children are adventurous. Christmas was a silent proclamation of joy whispered by snow-laden pines and candlelit windows. The townsfolk, bound by the warmth of woven traditions, prepared for the holiday with a fervor that was as understated as it was sincere. As the December chill crept over the Pennsylvania hills, the residents of Slippy Creek engaged in the sacred dance of festivity. At the Inn's Cafe, coffee steamed like the breath of carolers, and Gloria presided over her realm of pie and gossip, serving up slices of apple cinnamon that were as much a balm to the spirit as they were a delight to the palate. Her cafe became a refuge for those seeking the companionship of neighbors and the solace of a good story. The town's single street was lined with snow, untouched by the plows until well after the Sunday service at the Slippy Creek Church. Pastor Stanley had been pondering the Christmas sermon for weeks, seeking a message that would gently lead his flock towards the true North Star of the season. His sermons were much like the town itself, unassuming yet profound, and laced with a humor that was as natural as the Polish lilt in the voices of his parishioners. And in the high school auditorium, the annual Christmas pageant was in its chaotic final rehearsals. Director Jeannie Sladek, hair askew and glasses slipping down her nose, herded the young actors with a patience that was nothing short of saintly. The pageant would feature the usual medley of angels and shepherds, a wobbly manger, and the strains of Silent Night floating on the breath of the aspiring young musicians. As Christmas approached, the Streamside General Store became the bustling heart of Slippy Creek, as it did every year. The wooden floors, worn smooth by generations of patrons, creaked a welcome to each customer who entered through the door that jingled with the sound of a bell. Inside, the air was rich with the scents of gingerbread and pine. At one corner of the store, near the pot-bellied stove that offered a warm haven from the bitter cold, a group of men stood discussing the merits of various ice fishing lures and the virtue of wool socks over synthetic blends. They each held a cup of Big John's strong, hot coffee, a seasonal blend with a hint of nutmeg that was served free of charge to anyone who might need a bit of warmth. In another aisle, children hovered over barrels of candy, their eyes wide with the kind of innocent greed that only comes from the sight of striped peppermints, chocolate Santas wrapped in gold foil, and the tangy sweetness of orange slices dusted with sugar. These treats were a Christmas tradition, and parents would smile, indulging their little ones with a nod towards a scoop of candy, a small luxury against the long winter nights. The back wall of Streamsides was dedicated to holiday essentials. Handmade wreaths of balsam fir and cedar, crafted by the grannies from the church, hung next to strings of popcorn and cranberries. Below them, the counters displayed an array of goods perfect for stocking stuffers, pocket knives for the men, thimbles for the sewing mavens, harmonicas for the musically inclined, and small dolls hand-sewn by Beatrice Kapushki, which were said to be infused with enough love to last a whole childhood. At the center of the store, a large table was set up, piled high with bolts of fabric in reds and greens, patterns of plaid, and prints of reindeer and Santas. Here, the town's quilters perused and debated over the fabrics for their next projects, their voices a low hum in the symphony of the store. Miss Nellie oversaw the gift wrapping station, a service provided free with a smile that was as much a part of the holiday as the star on top of the Christmas tree. With practiced hands, she turned simple brown paper and twine into packages that looked like treasures, adding a sprig of holly or a curl of ribbon for a touch of color. In the weeks leading up to Christmas, Big John would stay open late, knowing full well that farmers would come in after their chores were done, looking for a bit of companionship and a place to purchase their secret gifts. In this way, the Streamside General Store became more than just a store, it was a meeting place and a touchstone of tradition. As Christmas Eve drew near, Slippy Creek embraced the deeper silence of the winter solstice. The hush was not empty but full, brimming with the echoes of those who had celebrated before and the anticipation of little ones yet to come. The night would be pierced by the sound of the church bell, ringing clear and true, a beacon calling all to remember and to hope. In the stillness of that holy night, with the stars glittering like a promise above, the people of Slippy Creek gathered in their homes, in their church, around their tables. They found strength in the love that connected them, the simple grace of shared bread and stories, and the enduring belief that no matter how far one wandered, this town, with its frozen streams and warm hearts, was a compass ever pointing towards home. And so, in Slippy Creek, as the Christmas story was told once again, the old truths settled in anew, dressed in the humble garb of tradition, a gentle reminder that in this little town, all was calm, all was bright. And that's the news from my hometown Slippy Creek, where the men are hard-working, the women are bright, and all the children are adventurous.